Hello friends, James Stevenson here with a fresh episode of Who's Hating Hard on Tesla Today? Let's check in with my co-host Loki, who is curled up over here. Here he is. Uh, you can keep an eye on Loki in the Loki's Bedcam here while I show you who's hating hard on Tesla today. It's Forbes. I was made aware of this article moments ago after I posted a video. Let me zoom myself back out again. There we go. That's better. I sometimes accidentally give hand signals to my robot camera, and then it zooms in when it shouldn't. Here is the article in Forbes. Tesla again has the highest accident rate of any auto brand. I will let you know now that that is false. Now, I don't know if Steve Banker, contributor, knew that it was false or not. But here's another false sentence I'll read you. Tesla's cars are once again involved in the most accidents according to a study by LendingTree Insurance. Folks, LendingTree Insurance will tell you that isn't true. But you can't stop reporters like Steve Banker at Forbes from concluding the wrong thing and then publishing an article that gives false information to people. This is the fakest fake news you will see unless you're watching Lora Kolodny or Fred Lambert do exactly the same thing with exactly the same information, misinterpreting it exactly the same way. It found Tesla drivers are involved in more accidents than drivers of any other brand. Not true. Some of these accidents involve Tesla's self-driving system. They do not know that. Nationally, Tesla drivers had 26.67 accidents per 1,000 drivers. So that's also not true. And I guess I'll just have to pay it off for you before I go too much farther here. I had to turn off my ad blocker before Forbes would show me this article. You can pause and read the article if you want. It's garbage. Instead, I will show you this retweet from Gorklon Rust, whose Twitter handle is @ElonMusk, because this is how Elon Musk is describing himself today. And there's his profile pic of Gork with his rainbow shades on. Reposting a chart I updated an hour ago and posted, using Tesla Autopilot self-driving massively improves safety for you and others on the road. This is an extremely important point, and it's one that I don't think Tesla makes often enough. Not enough people know that the safest car you can drive is a Tesla. Now, somebody replied to my post here with that Forbes article, which is how I became aware of it, and it took me mere moments to debunk it as FUD. And I'll show you that now by clicking through here. Here's my post. If you've been driving a vehicle with average safety, there's an 11.8% chance you were in a car accident over the past 5 years. But if you were driving a Tesla, less than half that risk, unless you were using autopilot, in which case it's more like 1/10 of the risk. I made a separate video about this, so I won't review that again. What I will do is admit that I couldn't count how many years there were in my caption. There's 6 of them here, not 5. Last year there were 5, and I still remembered there being 5 last year. Also, 2024 minus 2019 is 5, but you have to count inclusively, not exclusively. Here's a reply from I Like Teslas. Interesting that it was 1.5% calculating from 2019 through 2024. 2024 forward, the improvement of FSD was so massive, probably will be closer to 0. It may get a lot better soon. Yeah, it may only go up by 1/10 of a point per year instead of 2/10 of a point per year. I replied, yes, the percentage likelihood of being in an accident in 2024 alone among those who were not in an accident driving a Tesla on autopilot from 2019 through 2023 was only 0.2%, just the increase from the prior year's cumulative 1.3% chance. Some folks don't get the labels. I tried to label the x-axis as helpfully as I could to let you know, hey, for every one of these, it's counting the whole time period all the way back to the beginning. Okay, now how much is my risk over this entire time period? That's what these percentages are giving you, because I think that's more helpful to people who are going to buy a vehicle and drive it for 5 or 6 years. They want to know, okay, over that whole ownership time period that I'm driving that vehicle, what's my likelihood of being in an accident during any of those years? But this is the one I wanted to pay off from Consensus Media, just a here, with a screenshot of the headline from that Forbes article, to which I replied, "The source data is flawed, as its provider LendingTree admits. Their survey question only asks if the driver requesting an insurance quote was in an accident recently. They don't know what brand of vehicle was involved in the crash, only what brand of vehicle they now want to insure." So the data could just indicate that people who are involved in car accidents decide to buy a Tesla as their next vehicle because they don't want to be in any more car accidents, right? So people who were driving a Chevy or a Ford or a Dodge vehicle that they wrecked go to LendingTree and they ask for an insurance quote on their new Tesla that they bought. And then the question is, have you been in an accident? Whatever the time period is that the survey question has. And then they say, yes, I've been in an accident. Can I insure my Tesla? And then LendingTree publishes the data, and dumb reporters who can't figure it out don't make the connection. They don't understand that when a person requesting to insure a Tesla tells you they've been in a car accident, LendingTree doesn't know what kind of car was involved in the car accident. All they know is which brand of car they want to insure now. How do I know that? Because Brandon Paddock at Brandon Live did the work. He did the legwork. A LendingTree spokesperson has now confirmed their study does not look at accidents that occurred in the listed vehicles, easy for me to say, e.g. Tesla, but instead is about the accident histories of people requesting quotes through their website. Who will post a retraction first? Here's the screenshot from Jerica Lamborn at LendingTree, the public relations manager, explaining what the reporters got wrong. "Hi, Brandon. Lora Kolodny from NBC forwarded me your email regarding our recent study on driving behaviors by car brands. I spoke with my editorial team about your questions on our methodology. You're correct that we can't know if the vehicle they're looking to get insurance for is the vehicle in which they had the driving accident. Ultimately, the people looking for auto insurance for a Tesla, using Quote Wizard from November 14th, 2022 to November 14th, 2023, had the highest percentage of accident incidents. We made no claims about the safety of Teslas and or the safety features of any other brand mentioned. Our study is solely about Quote Wizard users during the previously mentioned time frame, the brand of car they're looking to insure, and the driving incidents of those users, the past driving incidents of those users." I hope that helps clear up any questions you may have. Please let us know if there's anything else we can help with. Happy holidays from December 21st, 2023. All right, so he followed that up with, "Attention, Frederic Lambert, Electrek," who I'm sure reported the same thing. I didn't look up their article, but you can bet it was the same thing. And I don't know who Eliz Blackstock is, but he tagged her as well. "Please correct/retract your misleading articles." So somebody else, besides Forbes and Lora Kolodny and Electrek, got that article wrong. So if you saw it any of those places, now you know the rest of the story. Right, Loki? All right, so without any further comment from Loki, I will remind you to like this video if you liked this video. That will help others like you recommend, get recommended this video so that they'll watch it and also like it. And thank you to everybody who supports me, especially my executive producers, Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com. And I'll see you in the next one.